The man suspected of shooting at former U.S. President Donald Trump has been named by the FBI as Thomas Matthew Crooks. He was 20 years old and from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, they said in a statement. Trump was shot at during a rally in Pennsylvania, with Secret Service agents swarming the former president after a series of gunshots. He was quickly bundled off stage and into a waiting vehicle and has since returned home to New Jersey. He is doing well and is grateful to law enforcement officers, according to a statement published on the Republican National Committee website. The FBI say they are treating the incident as an assassination attempt on Trump. In a post to his Truth Social network, Trump said a bullet pierced the upper part of his right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin, Trump wrote. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. Blood was clearly visible on Trump's ear and face as protection officers rushed him away. The FBI statement added that the incident is an active and ongoing investigation. Pennsylvania police say there are no further threats following the shooting. The suspect was shot dead at the scene by a U.S. Secret Service sniper, the agency's spokesperson Anthony Guglielmi said. He added that one bystander was killed in the shooting and 2 others were critically injured. All 3 victims were male, officials later confirmed. Law enforcement sources told CBS News that Crooks had been armed with an AR-style rifle and had fired from a building a few hundred meters away outside the venue. Special Agent Kevin Rojek confirmed the agency was treating the shooting as an assassination attempt. He added that the Crooks had not been carrying ID and that investigators used DNA to formally identify him. They have yet to identify a motive for the assassination attempt, Mr. Rojek said. Bystanders who spoke to the BBC suggested the gunshots may have come from a 1-story building to the right of the stage where Trump was speaking. One witness, Greg, told the BBC that he had spotted a suspicious-looking person crawling on the roof of the building about 5 minutes after Trump took to the stage. He said he pointed the person out to police. He had a rifle, we could clearly see him with a rifle, he said. We're pointing at him, the police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police did not know what was going on. Tim, who was also at the rally, told the BBC that he had heard a barrage of shots. There was a spray which we initially thought was a fire hose, and then the speaker on the right-hand side started coming down, he said. Something must have hit the hydraulic lines which caused it to fall. We saw President Trump go to the ground and everyone started dropping to the ground because it was chaos. Warren and Debbie were at the venue and told the BBC they heard at least 4 gunshots. They said they both got on the ground as Secret Service agents came through the crowd shouting for the attendees to get down. People remained calm, they said. We couldn't believe it was happening, Warren said. Debbie said a little girl beside them was crying that she didn't want to die and saying, how is this happening to us? That broke my heart, Debbie said. Speaking from his home state of Delaware, President Biden deplored the attack, calling it sick. There's no place in America for this kind of violence, he said. Everybody must condemn it. The White House later said President Biden had spoken with Trump before returning to Washington, D.C. Trump remains locked in a tight contest with President Biden, the presumptive Democratic nominee, in a rematch of the 2020 election. Politicians of both parties joined Mr. Biden in condemning the apparent attack. Former President Barack Obama said there is absolutely no place for political violence in our democracy and that he was relieved that former President Trump wasn't seriously hurt. Trump's former Vice President Mike Pence said he and his wife were praying for his former ally, adding that he urged every American to join us. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said in a statement, "My thoughts and prayers are with former President Trump. I am thankful for the decisive law enforcement response. America is a democracy. Political violence of any kind is never acceptable." UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer led international condemnation of the shooting, saying he was appalled by the shocking scenes at President Trump's rally. Political violence in any form has no place in our societies, and my thoughts are with all the victims of this attack, he said in a statement. Trump is still set to accept his party's nomination for president at the convention in Milwaukee on Monday, his campaign manager said. Some had speculated that he had been set to reveal his running mate at the Butler rally. Some Republicans were quick to blame President Biden over the shooting, accusing him of stoking fears about Trump's potential return to office. Senator J.D. Vance, who is thought to be on the shortlist to become Trump's vice presidential candidate, said the rhetoric from the Biden campaign had led directly to this incident. Mike Collins, a Republican congressman, accused the president of inciting an assassination. Meanwhile, James Comer, the chair of the powerful House Oversight Committee, said he would summon the director of the Secret Service before his panel.